Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Uncle Bandit stream. I hope everyone's doing well and staying safe out there. This is another one of our archive exclusive playthroughs. I figured that this would be something, you know, that's short enough that it would be better as sort of an exclusive to the archive rather than just, I don't know, just like doing like a stream that's like 30 minutes, you know? Which I think is fine. I am recording this at a terrible time. I literally am just getting over like a headache, so I guess we're just gonna see how this goes and hope for the best. Speaking of hoping for the best, today we are doing a playthrough of Ghostwire Tokyo Prelude Corrupted Casefile. So without further ado, let us hop back into the Videoverse. Look at that art, baby. But yeah, I figured this would be sort of a fun thing to do. Like right before we do our main Ghostwire playthrough. Also, photosensitivity warning. Okay. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, this is cool. I am loving the visuals of this. I wonder if this was done just by like Tango's like art team or like what. Anyway, this is okay. Anyway, this is Ghostwire Tokyo Prelude: The Corrupted Casefile. Developed by, I don't know, did I get that right on the screen? That's a great question. Yeah, I did. Probably could be like a one word though. I don't know, it's kind of interesting with the way that the different platforms try to call this game. Anyway, this is Ghostwire Tokyo Prelude: The Corrupted Casefile. This is a game developed by Tango Gameworks, published by Bethesda Softworks, originally released March of 2022. Basically, this was essentially like a taster, I want to say, for Ghostwire Tokyo, right? Not much in the way of like, options. Just sort of a intro to like the world of Ghostwire. Learn a little bit about some characters. And I think that's a cool way to do it. I mean, admittedly, like, I think it's like a cool idea. A demo is probably easier, but Also, I find it interesting. I just want to note, I can scroll the menu with the control stick, but not the control pad. So I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, yeah, let's just hop into it. Let's just go. Whoa. Okay. You right there, friend? Rinko? God damn it. Rinko! Erica? Yeah, there's stuff kind of like floating around. Meanwhile, in Shibuya. No. Oh yeah, there's like no sound. Okay. I thought that might have been just me, but no. No one wants to talk about it. It's all that's on anyone's mind these days. Mysterious things are happening all around Shibuya. Sightings, attacks, disappearances, fear. How is a kid supposed to be a kid in a time like this? But honestly, Ryota never really was like most kids. He's not usually glued to his phone all day. Har har, kids and their phones. Let's see. The Kiriga Oga vanishing. The Maru Naochi vanishing. The bathroom vanishing? Oh no! Ryota's concerns bring him to a mysterious case file posted online. It's titled The Kirigaoka Vanishing. Oh, okay, so that's what it's called. The Kirigaoka Vanishing. He reads it to himself the best he can. Having tracked another report of dark fog to the area, I arrived to find it had passed, leaving dreary rain hanging over the neighborhood. At the scene, all we found were the clothes of a mother and a son, left behind like two molted cicada shells. It's hard to even imagine, a parent and her child just gone. Precious lives snuffed out forever. My heart sank knowing that I had failed to protect them. It was the worst feeling I'd ever felt. As if on cue, the rain started pouring down. Heavier and heavier it fell with each passing minute, but I couldn't be bothered to take out my umbrella. That's when the obvious culprits returned to the scene of the crime. A group of monsters. They had umbrellas of their own, as if rain followed them wherever they go. I was furious. I brought hell down onto them at that very moment. They tried to protect themselves with the umbrellas, but I just kept pounding on them until they were battered and broken. I was so exhausted I could have fallen over at any moment, but my utter wrath kept me going. As I picked up to leave, I still refused to open up my own umbrella. I just walked away, rain pouring and soaking me to the bone. KK. Nice phone you got there. Ryota's concern bring him to a mysterious case file posted on... Oh. Whoops, my bad. Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh, okay. This is more to it than I thought. Unable to shake the idea that monsters are all around him, Ryota navigates on his phone to a document called The Marunochi Vanishing. The language is complicated, but he works to understand it. It says, I got a tip on a missing woman from Marunochi. When you've been a detective as long as I have, you tend to build up a big network of contacts. The story my contract told me was that they saw the woman one day when the fog rolled in. It blanketed the area, and then poof, she was gone. Times like these make me wish a certain somebody was around. Come to think of it, the fog and the disappearances set the scene for when I first met the rest of my crew. Everybody kept talking about folks just up and disappearing. I thought it was a load of horse shit. It wasn't until I met them, and until my encounter, that I believed. Ever since then, I've been haunted by what I would have once called hallucinations. Turns out being able to see spirits and monsters isn't fantasy movie nonsense after all. Guess I should be thankful, because otherwise I wouldn't have seen through that monster taking the form of the woman. She made a bunch of red orbs appear that chased me around. But I knew so long as I didn't let myself get surrounded, I'd be okay. She was a nightmare to look at, so I put her out of her misery. When I searched the scene, I spotted a woman's handbag. Found the missing lady's ID cards in there. Then I came across some clothes that looked like they would have been hers. They were in a little pile, but the way they had fallen made it clear her body had just vanished. No mistaking whose handiwork it was, either. I'd finally managed to get my hands on a solid enough lead to work with. KK. Oh, that's weird. Why? Huh. Yeah, the lack of music is a little weird. In these posts, the kid had found something, or rather someone. Someone called KK has been looking into monsters in this part of town. A believer, just like Ryota. Social media would never lie. Social media would never lie, gang. Never lie about anything. Imagine somebody purposefully spreading misinformation on the internet. Never would think of such a thing. And that means KK is an expert. Maybe the expert in all things paranormal. There's only one thing left to do. Having pored over every story, post, and grainy photo about local monsters he could find, Ryota prepares to take action. I'm gonna ask this KK guy to help. Just gotta figure out where he lives first. Ah, we're searching on Sagasu. Ghostwire, Tokyo. Contact. Dear Mr. Investigator Person. Dear Mr. Investigator Person, hello, how are you? I'm not good and I need your help. Monsters got my best friend Sosuke. Rinko sits in her chair. She's zeroed in on one of a dozen monitors from across a makeshift command center, stuffed into this crammed Tokyo apartment. It happened near the manhole. Please help me get him back. Data flies across the screen, seemingly too much. Charts and graphs, maps and mathematical equations, even social media feeds and open case files. Somehow, through all of those screens and all of that clutter, Ryota's message catches Rinko's eye. Sounds desperate, but it could just be some bored kid trolling us. Calm and confident, Rinko insists on balancing compassion with skepticism and her analytical approach. On the other hand, that manhole is within the vicinity of several recent incidents. Maybe he is involved. She knows what she thinks, but she also knows no one can protect Tokyo all by themselves. Trusting your teammates is the only way to keep everyone safe. What do you make of it, Ed? Ed squints and takes a single deep breath as he turns to the screen. He has something to say, but holds it back. Technology is easy. People are hard. Instead of speaking up, he places a small recorder on his desk. He presses play, and as the audio begins to roll, Ed turns and walks away. I've heard intriguing stories about so-called manhole girls in Japan. Vengeful ghosts of bullied students said to trick other children into following them into the sewer, from where they never return. If any information turns up about such anomalies, I'd be keen to investigate. Though I speak purely out of personal interest. Might not be enough to make the rest of my team pursue it without further evidence. Okay. Safe to say, since you somehow found the time to record something this specific about a single urban legend, that you want to look into it. Ed is already engrossed in other work. He doesn't respond. He certainly doesn't notice when Rinko rolls her eyes. He rarely does. Probably the best we have no idea how you spend your free time, huh, Ed? Eric has been sitting next to Rinko this entire time, listening and waiting for the right time to chime in. That time is... Want me to check it out? I don't think so, Erica. It'd be dangerous. What if something happens to you? Seriously? You still don't trust me to go out by myself for 5 minutes in the middle of the day? At just 16 years old, Rinko might be right not to trust Erica on something dangerous. But Rinko knows that Erica has shown a maturity beyond her years. She gives Erica an almost sisterly look of skepticism. You know that it's not that. Rinko quickly turns back to her monitors and away from Erica. But for all her maturity, Erica can't quite keep from pouting. Stop making that face. Besides, we've got our very own private detective in the vicinity already. I'll have him take a look. Okay, so it seems as though... So, like, if I can just, like, take a moment. It sort of seems like the articles kind of... If I were to make a guess, like, the articles are describing, like, enemy types that, like, you're gonna, like, run into, right? Like, maybe that's the idea. And we're also being... so I guess there's, like, a group that is, like, investigating, like... the paranormal, right? Like, paranormal anomalies, like, people disappearing, you know, mysterious disappearances. That seems kind of cool. It seems like a really, really cool idea. I just need to take a drink real quick. Okay. Let us continue. The stall is brimming, as a wide array of customers eat in relative silence. The only sound they make is the slurping of their noodles. The silence breaks when a phone begins to vibrate upon the countertop. The owner ignores it, choosing to focus on his meal instead. The phone doesn't care about his hunger and continues to vibrate. The phone wins. The peace and solitude have shattered. This is no way to enjoy noodles. You're telling me. God damn it. The silent dinner finally glances at the screen. Or the silent diner, whoops. Not the dinner. It'd be weird if the food looked at the at the phone. He begins to mutter to himself. Another case? These people have me working harder than my enemies ever did. Can't even get 5 minutes to enjoy a nice quiet lunch. Hang up. Hey, really, buddy. Really good. Let me guess. I'll be risking life and limb? That's why you let it ring for so long? Too scared to pick up? Huh. You know the exact day I stopped being scared of anything. The day you stopped being a loner and hooked up with us so we could have your back? Sure, that works. Besides, I'm not full enough to pretend this team isn't half okay. If you need backup, I'll be there. No questions asked. Actually, I already volunteered, but right now, there's nothing dangerous to be worried about. It's a simple check-in on a report of some suspicious activity that might be connected to these phenomena we've been looking into. It's always the simple cases that go south the fastest. You know what? You're right. Maybe Erica should run point on this one. Sure, she's just a kid, but you're busy, so... Whoa, hold up. Let's not sacrifice the rookie to make me look bad. I'm already out. Send me the info and I'll get on it. First, though, I need to talk to one of you about something. I mean, shoot. Hey, Rinko. Let me guess. Pissed I interrupted your precious solitary soba time? Irked. Not pissed. I was almost done. God forbid the report of a vengeful spirit abducting children interrupt the same bowl of noodles you've had 1,000 times. Not much left in this world I love. When I think of something else, I'll tell you. You won't have a chance to add to that list if we don't figure this out. We both know how powerful the forces we're dealing with really are. We have to keep pulling these threads until we've unraveled the whole damn thing. No thread is too small. Guess I can't argue with that. I know I can rely on you. It might be the only thing I know for certain. Now go prove how smart I am, dumbass. It's the job I was born to do. So, interesting characterizations all around. Ryota doesn't notice the people passing him on the street. They don't notice him either. He is young, but he is very much alone. His focus is centered on the small bit of paper in his hands. After a couple folds, the paper finds a familiar configuration. With the head, arms, and body, it takes shape. A palm-sized person stands in his hand. As Ryota inspects his creation, someone who has been observing him from afar steps out from the shadows. What have you got there? Ryota looks up. He's nervous but clutches the paper doll in his hand to stay brave. He's not running or hiding, despite the gruff stranger staring at him. Hey, no need to be afraid. I'm not here to do anything bad to you or your little friend. I admit, I've been known to carry the odd paper doll with me on investigations. Strange habit, I know. But you get the benefits of a partner without the annoying small talk. Ryota's shoulders ease. He lets his guard down as he listens to the detective and re-examines the folded paper. The detective surprises himself with his playful tone. He's rusty, but he somehow still feels comfortable talking to this scared kid. Sometimes paper dolls are used for magical purposes. You a sorcerer by chance? Now's the time to tell me. So you really are him, huh? Gonna have to be more specific, kid. You're KK, the ghost hunter from the files. You must be. I just thought you'd be taller. They say you solve strange mysteries, right? KK? Maybe. The detective looks closely at Ryota's phone. He sees the social media posts featuring photos of various case files he's worked on, collected in one place. Look, I only use those initials because writing out my name is a pain. And I got too much pain already. Not your problem, right? Anyhow, that's me, KK. But I'm not a ghost hunter. I'm a detective. KK's demeanor hardens a bit, dropping the playfulness. You want an investigator, kid? Well, you got one. I'm so glad you're going to look into the disappearances at the manholes. Here's the thing. I already did. Made some calls on the way here. There's no record of any recent disappearances. Still got a few friends in the force, so I can dig up dirt quick. KK shoots Ryota a serious look. Not trying to pull a fast one on me, are you, kid? It's true, honest. My buddy Sosuke disappeared. He hasn't come home since yesterday. Last place I saw him was right back here. Ryota motions to the alleyway behind him. He went down that way. I tried to follow, but I couldn't find him. He was completely gone. If Ryota's bluffing, he's an incredible liar. A sadness comes over him when he looks back towards the alley. KK looks back and forth from the kid and then to the alleyway behind him. All alleys are dark, but this one looks like it's never seen daylight. See any fog when that happened? The moment he disappeared. Now that you mention it, there has been something spooky around, like a kind of fog or darkness that came and then went. Alright. KK mutters something to himself as he eyeballs the alleyway behind Ryota. Nothing looks immediately out of place. With so much going down in the city, some kid getting lost doesn't exactly seem like front-page news. I mean, I don't know. I think the kid is telling the truth. I don't think, like, calling his bluff works. I need more to go on, kid. Why are you so convinced he was taken? Didn't happen to anyone else around here? But it did happen to my best friend. Sosuke's been missing for 2 full days. Everyone has been looking, but no one can find him. What about his parents? Did they file the police report? I'm the only one who really cares about Sosuke. I know he needs me, and no one else is even looking for him anymore. Just me. Well, he's lucky to have you. It's like when you saw crows circling above the building in one of those cases you investigated. You knew there was more to it than everyone else. Well, Mr. KK, I know there's more to Sosuke's disappearance. I just need your help. Really did your homework, huh? I'm impressed. You're more dedicated than most adults I know. You remind me of my friend Erica. She's lost someone too. She'll never stop fighting for them either. KK takes another glance at the alley. Alright. Show me exactly where this Sosuke pal of yours disappeared. Ryota perks up. So you're gonna look into it? I'm here, ain't I? Let me check in with my team, see if they figured anything out. Could save us some time. KK reaches for his phone. What's up? We're all here. I need a quick word with one of you to follow up on what the kid has told me. Probably the guy, right? Ed, you find anything in those files of yours while I was talking to this kid? Unfortunately, I've only done a limited amount of my own research into this legend before being pulled away by other tasks. That said, I've been quite eager to continue it. Ed, spit it out. What do you know? Of course, it's still just a theory. While he was speaking, Ed queued up another file on his audio recorder. He let it do the talking from here on out. So Ed seems to be kind of a guy that... Like, maybe he has, like, trouble socializing. Like, maybe that's the problem. Or maybe he just makes a lot of, like, audio recordings and just kind of uses those as, like, his base of, like, I don't know, like, knowledge and stuff. Like, maybe that's the deal. Oh. Interesting guy. While installing some ethereal energy monitoring hardware that I decided to place throughout the city, I've become aware of micropulses within Tokyo's electrical grid that are only recognizable within distinct frequencies. It is my belief that these frequencies are tied to spiritual resonance, a byproduct of vanishing experiments. My intention is to continue monitoring these pulses via the mobile lab, with the hope of ultimately detecting a source location. So far, signs point to the Shibuya district, but I've been unable to produce more specific results. It's as if the source is continually moving, relocating perhaps, to avoid the exact type of precision detection that I seek to achieve. A moving target, eh? Hell, if you were trying to move quickly through the city undetected, you could do worse than the sewers. Well, Ed, time to test this theory of yours. Ryota, it's time to find Sosuke. Time to find the kid. We're in an alleyway. Nothing looks out of place. But things are rarely what they seem. KK slowly, but deliberately reaches his hands out. He's not holding on to anything, but you would think that he is by the way he's moving. Like he's got something invisible dangling from his fingertips. Ryota has no clue what he's trying to do, but he watches closely. However, what happens next can only be seen by KK's eyes. As KK opens his fingers, a sparkling orb of energy drops from his hand down onto the ground. It ripples like water in a still pond, energy flowing outward into the world. Ooh. Now that's cool. That's cool, game. Oh, shadows. Like we're seeing like a echo of some kind. A strange trail floats into view as though a spirit has passed through this place. Psychic energy. The trail leads further on, deeper into the alley and out of view. Guess he went that way. Puzzled, Ryota follows KK's eye line down the alley. Sees nothing out of the ordinary. What happened? I don't see anything. Trust me, kid. It's good you can't see it. This is a power you don't want. You're too young for it. Take a risk like that and change your life forever. The world's a scary place. It keeps getting worse. We're gonna find your friend and get you back to your life. I do love the art style for this, by the way. Like, it is very, very... Like, I don't know if this was done by, like, the main, like, art team, or, like, they brought in, like... Or they had, like, a set of artists, like, in charge of, like, making this, but, like, it's really cool. I really like it. But, anyway. KK and Rinko are in big trouble this time. Running like rats, desperate to stay alive, with only a dingy old sofa between them and... monsters! We better find another exit. Rinko turns to KK and sees him holding his head. He appears to be in great pain. Damn. It's happening again. Your body's reacting to the ether. As KK looks at the room, his vision begins to break in half. He tries to focus, but rather than reform, everything continues to split apart even further. Another hallucination. The world is breaking in two. That'd be crystallized ether, another form of matter. Sounds like your body has entered the final stages of affinity. Ugh! From thin air like phantoms, these horrific visitors appear, surrounding KK and Rinko. Damn, we're surrounded. So maybe that was the day he got his powers. Mr. KK? Are you okay? Huh? Sorry, kid. My mind can be a little hard to control. You just kind of stood there for a little while. Sometimes my memories take me places. Hate to leave you alone again, but you need to wait here while I look for your pal. Sit tight. I won't be long. A report on Rinko's computer setup flashes on screen. Ed's monitoring software has a hold of something big. The results are clear. Spiritual residue. And it's exactly at KK's location. What is it now? We just received an alert. There was a massive surge of spiritual energy at your location. Hold off on pursuing until we're able to send support. Can't wait forever for you guys. We might have a missing child on our hands. We got plenty of evidence. I know what I'm getting myself into. Relax. Ed's research has already prepared me. I'm ready. I appreciate the vote of confidence on behalf of my work, but that research was actually quite limited. It was more of a brief overview, in fact. I wouldn't call it actionable intelligence, so to speak. It was very informative. It was a very informative overview. I doubt I could be any more ready than I am right now. It's not fair to ask us for help when you think you need us, then use our own words against us when you're too impatient to act as a team. We're in this together. KK decides to address one team member specifically to make his case. I don't know, talk to, yeah. Fair. What about anything that happens to us is fair? This job that no one asked us to do, but we all know we can't escape. You're damn right. It happened to us, not just you. I had to throw myself into the fire, even though I knew I'd get burned. Hurt like hell, but it saved both our lives. Couldn't forget that day if I wanted to. There's no way of knowing what would have happened if you didn't. Just because you got hurt doesn't mean that that was the only option. You're right that I didn't agree with you then, and I don't agree with you now either. But I also know that you're just doing what you feel you must. I hate that I admire you for that, sometimes. The team means everything to me, Rinko. That's all I got. I'm going to protect it. Trust me. I'm trying. Maybe make it easier next time. I'll talk to you later. I'm in the middle of investigating. He never was any good at following people's directions. That attitude of his is precisely what saved our hides on countless occasions. You don't think I realize that? Erica smiles, thinking about KK's attitude. It doesn't bother her. Oh, okay. Interesting. Oh, whoa. Damn, they're everywhere. KK's eyes dart between two horrific figures, to some incredibly strange glowing crystals that hover nearby. As he tries to speak, KK wheezes painfully. Rinko, what would happen if someone tried to touch one of these ether crystals? Your guess is as good as mine. Might give you the power to fight back, might just make you even more miserable. Who can say? What about him? Did it grant him strength? Rinko nods slightly. After getting his answer, KK, without hesitation, stretches his hand out toward the crystals. Wait, stop! Stopping's not an option. Not for any of us. You don't know what will happen. It could kill you. And those things won't? We're dead if we don't try something. We aren't out of options yet. You've thrown away everything to fight these monsters. Same as me. There's not a goddamn thing left to lose at this point. Before Rinko could say anything else, KK reaches all the way out. Crystals! Fancy. Whoa! Whoa, okay. Yeah, there's something funky with that sewer. KK follows the trail of psychic energy deeper into the dark Shibuya alleyway, away from the glow of familiar streetlights and vending machines. His venture into the unseen brings him to a manhole cover where the spirit residue flashes with an eerie intensity. This spot is clearly the original point for whatever spirit is at the center of this mystery. Did they take you this way, Sosuke? KK looks around again and, finding nothing, focuses his attention on his haunted manhole. Haunted manhole. Man, don't you hate it when the manhole's haunted? Like, chat? Well, actually, not chat. There's nobody here. That's right. Just the viewers. You know, you gotta hate when the manhole's haunted. But, the spectral vision shows KK a lot more than he thought it might, revealing a glowing specter hovering in this dark and dreary place, the spirit of a man in his 30s, a Jibaku Rei. According to Japanese lore, this type of spirit is trapped in a physical location. Okay, Spectre. What's keeping you tied down there? The Spectre seems unable to answer him. Instead, he mutters as if distracted, or perhaps completely delirious. Either or, maybe both. Spectres aren't especially concerned with politeness or clarity. Neither of us is going anywhere until I get some answers. I need to know, what are you doing here? Specifically, at this manhole cover. Why haunt this place? I thought it was a kid. Just a kid playing around, just having fun. Alone. I wanted to make sure he was safe. So, just being neighborly, eh? Yes. No! Not making friend. Protecting. But he wasn't... It wasn't a kid, though, was it? There was something else. Something lurking in these shadows. Did I die? I think I died. But this isn't what I expected. What was it? Monster. Monster? The specter points downwards. Underneath, huh? KK stares at the manhole as though if he just looks hard enough, he'll suddenly see what lurks in the darkness beneath its cover. He doesn't have to see the specter nod to know he's right. It went that way. Before he can pull up the manhole cover and see for himself, a long shadow creeps in from the edge of the alleyway. Did you find anything? Shopping around is detective business. Or snooping around is detective business. You don't belong back here, kid. I thought I heard you talking to someone. Who is this youngster? Only I can hear you, so don't bother. Only you can hear me? Or sure, nobody else is even here. This is turning into a damn clown show. Kid, I need you to stay here while I go down. It's not safe for you there. Not safe. Not safe. Monster. But how do you know I'll be safe up here? My team's one call away. They'll get here quick if you're in danger. Were you just saying something about being in the middle of an investigation and too busy to talk to anyone? Funny you should mention that. I could actually use some help. I believe they call it client services. Who you calling, mister? Are they nice like you, or nicer? Client services. Sounds more like babysitting to me. If only you would just wait for us to get there. We play the hand we're dealt, and juggling work and childcare has never been my strong suit. I need a little support. Rinko sighs. A long, tired sigh of a frustrated person who knows that in the end, of course, they'll help. She'll always help him, just as he will always help her. And I have the perfect candidate in mind. Oh, jeez. Hmm. I don't know. I, I, I don't know. Uh, you know what? Let's go on a limb. Let's say the Erica. She's the only kid I actually know and like anymore. Hey, KK, you need my help? I could be there ASAP. I don't need your help, but it can't wait. My new friend Ryota, the one who called us for help. Is he a little afraid of you? What? No. Why would you think that? I mean, yeah, maybe a little. But no, that's not it. Although it'd be better if he did fear me, then I could do my work. Oh, yeah, you aren't really that scary. I think I get it. Let me talk to him. KK hands his phone to Ryota and motions for him to accept this call. Yeah? Is this Mr. Ryota? Yes. I'm so excited they get to speak with you. I've heard that you are quite the investigator. I need your help from someone like you. What could I do to help you? Well, our friend who is there with you, he actually has 2 missions. Since he is looking for your friend, maybe you could swap and look for my friend. If we share the responsibility, I'm sure that we can achieve success together as a team. Suppose I could try to help you since he's helping me. Okay, but first, can you keep a secret? It's very important and related to this mission. Yes, I'm the best at secrets. I won't tell you how I know that, but it's true. My friend is a cat. I put a tracker on her collar that says she's nearby you, in the alley by your house. I miss her dearly. I'm a little embarrassed to admit it, but some of my best friends are animals. Your secret's safe with me. What does she look like? She's all black with 1 white spot and a few white whiskers. Her name is Monet, like the painter, and she really likes to hide. Can you look closely in between and behind all the vending machines and trash cans? Just to be safe, text me a picture of every dark corner you can find. She's very good at camouflage and easy to miss. I will find your friend. Ryota hands the phone back to KK and turns his attention to the nearest trash can. Phone out, he seems to be inspecting each side of it. Lucky for you, your new buddy is an animal lover just like me. I've given him a rescue mission to find a missing cat and send me a photo of it. Well, what if he succeeds? Tons of strays here, you might actually bump into one. I could always use more cat pics texted to me, and maybe he'll give it a home that it needs. Win-win. Now to get down there and find your pal, Sosuke. Okay, well, okay. That works. It's the sewer. Dirty water splashes under KK's feet as he makes his way through the still darkness of Shibuya's sewers. The further he goes, the darker it gets, but not because of any change in light. No, this darkness is unnatural. Da-na-na. In fact, it's not darkness at all. It's tangible. Dense fog made of spiritual energy fills the air. Toxic, paranormal waste coats the ground and plugs the drains. Whoa, hi. But the air itself is rejecting him. This corruption flows between worlds and reaches around him, blocking KK's way. How long has it been building up, right below our feet? Is it like this everywhere? As KK goes deeper, the Kagare only increases. There's definitely something here if there's this much corruption swirling around. Nothing I can't handle, though. Alone in the darkness, KK summons his power and... Ooh. Oh, okay. That was an... I'm not gonna lie, that wasn't the greatest way to do it. Cleanses the corruption, returning the sewer to its normal state. That's better. Minus the stink. With the Kagare now cleared, as if they were waiting for a moment of safety, someone appears. Sosuke? Is that you? The small boy avoids KK's look, turning his back and picking at something on the wet ground. Splish, splash. Splish, splash. Hey, you. Kid, you okay? Can you hear me? Are you hiding from something? Take a bath. Take a bath. Come on, kid. This isn't the time or place. Answer me. I'm not trying to scare you, but you gotta work with me here. In the vast darkness of the sewer, the sound of KK's phone suddenly rings out, the tinny chime echoing back and forth around the hollow space. The small boy in the raincoat doesn't seem to notice. He must be very preoccupied. I'm close. I found Sosuke, but I'm worried. He won't... Down so far, the signal to KK's phone is barely holding on. He can only make out a few sounds and struggles to make out what words they might be forming. Hello? Is anybody there? Rinko, is that you? Ed? Erica? Who is this? Rinko, can you hear me? Are you with Ryota? Can you ask him, was Sosuke wearing a yellow raincoat? Scratchy connection makes it almost impossible to understand. Sosuke. About Sosuke? Not. Rinko, I can't understand. Sosuke is not what? Not Sosuke. The call cuts out. The phone going dead in KK's hand. Damn. Enough screwing around. Sosuke? Just like that, finally, as if called by his mother to come to dinner, the child responds. He stands up and turns to KK with his dead, evil eyes. You're not Sosuke. You're the monster. KK raises his hand and calls forth an energy that he discovered that day long ago. The day he found his back against the wall, reaching out from touching the ether crystal. Ever heard of ether weaving, monster? Energy surges into KK's hand, green light winding and glowing, charging around his fingertips. This increasingly bright light glows, illuminating the tunnel, and in that moment, standing in the center of the tunnel, we can see this monster, this raincoat visitor, just in time for it to press a child's whistle to its mouth and... Oh. Where are we? Is this another memory? Huh. You're a funky-looking dude. At a stranger's fingertips lies KK, now a prisoner. I need my subject to remain calm, or else nothing will get done. Despite being captive, KK flashes the stranger a fiercer glare. You son of a bitch. Hello, my new friend. I'm keen to see how useful your vessel turns out to be. The stranger takes something out and holds it in his hands. An amulet. Though clearly not simply for decoration, it surges with power. He looks from the amulet and back to KK and smiles. Uh-oh. As the monstrous little raincoat visitor blows his whistle, he steps back into the shadow darkness. Running away, huh? But he's not running away at all. In fact, he's only making space for two much larger, more horrifying visitors to show up and challenge KK. Man, we have to deal with all these Slendermen. Man. I've been waiting to run to you again. Let's go, you bastards. Oh. Stop moving. The umbrella visitors are frozen in place. Okay. Okay, this is kind of a neat idea. Yeah, I don't know if this is really doing much. Like, really? You're done. Whoa, that's cool. The fight now over, the sewer is oddly calm again. The KK sweeps the space, looking for any clues that may be left behind. Why would a pack of monsters manifest their evil here? But then it seems affixed to one wall of the tunnel. He sees it affixed to one wall of the tunnel. A wooden tag, sometimes called a kifuda. This must be what summoned those things. KK reaches out to take the kifuda down, but as his fingertips approach it... Oh, bright light! Ah! Oh. Rinko? God damn it, Rinko! Erica? KK feels a big, quick thump through his body. Ooh. While he looks down, he sees someone else's arm stabbing through his chest. It's horrifying. Black smoke rushes out of his body. Looking back up, KK sees a man wearing a Hanya mask. You're... As KK comes to, he realizes that he is in the tunnel once again. No, still, he looks at his chest. It's totally fine. No gaping hole. Not even a scratch. Sweating, breathing heavily, his mind races. It was a horrible dream. Maybe a vision? He grips the kifuda in his hand. I won't let him get away with this. So hard that it smashes into pieces. At that moment, KK realizes he's not actually alone. Distracted by his fury, he had missed the approach of someone new. Who's there? Surprised, he spins to face this entity, but before he can raise his other hand... Ah! Ah! Is it the kid? KK emerges from the tunnel to find Ryota waiting with the rest of the team. You fool! You run into a wall of Kagare and your instinct is to walk deeper into it? When you know we're on our way to help? Listen, No, you listen. I'm not done yelling at your stupid ass for making me worry about you. Okay, but all of our instruments at HQ started going wild. We broke basically every traffic law in Tokyo twice to get here as quick as possible. And then we find an open sewer entrance, little Ryota peering down into this dirty tunnel, clearly considering climbing down there, despite her best efforts to cover for you and keep him busy. Sure, except, so we take a look for ourselves, it's corruption in all directions. The whole place absolutely soaking in spiritual residue. It's like they're amassing an army beneath her feet and you go sniffing out around alone? It's not... Maybe let her finish. Worst of all, you arrive stinking but unscathed, having been gone just long enough to have me convinced that you were really hurt down there. That I would never see you alive again. The problem with disappearing into a dangerous sewer all alone is that the longer you're gone, after Rinko has asked you to be cautious, the more time she has to consider the things she'll shout at you when you return. The things we've been through together. When you're in danger, as if I can feel it deep down, but there's nothing I can do. What if you had died? The thought of being haunted by you, of all people. I almost climbed down there to kill you myself. I'm sorry. Should have waited. Don't you dare be nice to me right now. I need to calm down. I value your friendship and support. I didn't hear that. Safely above ground, reunited with his team, KK turns his attention to the original source of all this drama, his young client, Ryota. You were never going to tell me, were you? Sosuke isn't your best friend, he's your dog! Oh, he lost his dog! That's a cute dog, at the very least. I didn't realize Sosuke was a dog. Hey, a dog can be a best friend, I don't know. Sosuke isn't your best friend. He's your dog. He's my dog and my best friend. KK steps back nervously as Sosuke tries to jump into his lap, tail wagging. Oh, calm down. He just wants to be a pet. Geez, who'd have thought that such a tough-as-nails former detective would have such a strong phobia around dogs? Don't have to broadcast it, alright? I don't like dogs. Don't be scared. Sosuke loves everyone. Maybe you should draw the line at loving monsters and following them into the sewer. Ryota hugs his dog and gets a face full of licks in response. KK relaxes slightly, seeing how harmless this little dog is, but still keeping some distance. Thank you so much for bringing him home safely, Mr. KK. Mr. KK? What an adorable alias. When exactly did you start going by this new short nickname, KK? I suppose it has a fun ring to it. Not quite so formal as your full name. Before we get too sidetracked, as the lead investigator on this one, you've got some paperwork to do, KK. Not sure what's worse. Fighting monsters or filling out all these damn forms. It's obvious that you prefer the fighting to paperwork. KK scribbles out a few quick lines. Only Ed can read them. Ah, I see. He has that kind of handwriting. Hey, kid. This is for you. Ooh, is it a prize for helping you find that ghost? Almost. It's the bill. Ryota's face sinks as he's left holding the check. Lucky for you, today's work is pro bono. That means free. Consider this your receipt. I'm feeling generous right now. Ryota looks closely at the paper in hand. It says, The Case of the Cursed Manhole. Extermination complete. KK. Leaning in over his shoulder, Rinko lets out an uncharacteristically loud burst of laughter. Oh, now I get it. You didn't choose the nickname KK. Sloppy paperwork chose it for you. Okay, that's funny. There's a lot in this life that we don't get to choose. Call me what you like. Not like I've got any use for a real name these days. Definitely not one of my old names. Doesn't matter what anyone calls me so long as I find that bastard. KK's gaze looks fierce, as though he's recalling a bitter past. Reflected in his eyes is Ryota, who looks pleased to have received KK's autograph. KK's expression softens up in response. That said, I guess KK's not so bad. So he's a big softy. Okay, well, that's just it. Cool. That was a nice little thing. I kind of like that. I do like the art that they put together for it. Like, it is pretty neat. I kind of wish that either the music... It's weird, because, like, the Elgato seems to be picking up something in the way of, like, audio, but, like, I feel like it is very low in the mix. Like, either very low in the mix or what, so, like... I feel like it could have stood to be louder, or maybe just, like, some, like, different, like, music, maybe. Like, it doesn't even have to be anything, like, too complicated, at least, like, 2 tracks, right? Yeah, the Elgato's picking up something. It's just, it is very low. Very, very strange. But, you know, that was kind of neat. I kind of enjoyed that. Jeez, where'd the time go? I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking at the recording time. And it says around like 56 minutes. I could have swore this thing only took like half an hour. Admittedly, part of that was just me kind of yapping and, you know, doing my usual stuff, but I don't know. I find that interesting. But yeah, I figured I'd try this out since it seemed different than, like, a demo, right? Like, I don't know. I think it's kind of neat to have these sort of, like, introductory, like, things. You know what I mean? Like, just being like, hey, like, here's, like, a little, like, visual novel to introduce you to the characters in the world and sort of the main gist. And, you know, we just kind of threw it together. You know? I don't know. I think that's cool. Admittedly, I do think that, like, I don't know how particularly effective it is at, like, selling people in a game compared to, like, just running a demo, right? Like, personally, I don't know what exactly the numbers on that would be. But, I mean, it was cool, though. It was kind of some cool, like, insight. We know about, you know, some different, like, characters. We know about who looks to be sort of our main character, who goes by, like, KK, and you have Ed, and you have Erika and Ryoka, you know, and they're, like, a team that investigates paranormal activity, you know. There are, like, ghosts and spectral anomalies and spirits and junk, and we gotta do something about it, you know? And KK sort of gives off, like, jaded detective sort of vibes, where it's like, yeah, no, I've done this a lot, and I'd like to not... like, I've done this a lot, you know? Not much brings me joy anymore. I get to eat soba, you know? And that brings me some joy, but besides that, but yeah, no, that's neat. I don't know if, like, the choices in that, like, mattered at all. I guess there is, like, a light bit of replayability if you want to, like, choose different things, right? But at the same time, I don't really know how, like, I don't know how interesting that is, or, like, how you would do that. In fact, I'm not even entirely sure if there's, like, even, like, a, like, failure state. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know if there's really a way to, like, goof. Oh. Don't know. But yeah, I mean, it was a pretty neat. I kind of like to think of it as sort of like the appetizer, right? The appetizer to the main event that's going to be Ghostwire Tokyo. If you're watching this, I've hopefully put this out before I put out the first episode of Ghostwire Tokyo on the archive channel, so hopefully that's the case, you know? I'm not gonna lie, these are long credits for a for a pretty short prologue visual novel. That did not really take that long. That's pretty nuts. Admittedly, they're being worked on by like, I don't know, you have quite a big company behind it, right? So I guess, you know. They gotta credit like the accountants and stuff, I guess. Accounts payable specialists. I do find that kind of interesting that they're crediting the accountants. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they're crediting human resources too? That's nuts. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's kind of cool to see like the different names behind like that sort of go into like big like developers or like publishers and the like, you know? Like really give you like some insight into just how many people are like trying to like that make up like the support structure within like these big companies. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of want like someone's like opinion on this actually. You know, someone that actually like makes games or whatever. Like I'm just kind of wondering like, do you put the credits of like I guess the term would be like non-devs, you know? Like the people that like work at the company in like support roles but aren't really related to the like development of a game like specifically. Like for example, like cleaning team and executive chefs and dining room manager and stuff. Like they're like support staff and they do, I guess, something related to like the dev teams but are not actually part of like the dev team. You know what I mean? Like I'm just kind of curious about what people sort of think of that. Like whether that is like an inclusion or not. Because like on one hand they did like work at these companies and they do work and they deserve to be credited for that work. But like at the same time, right, like should credits just be reserved for the people directly working on the game that you just played, right? It's like actual like dev teams, like project, you know, like the localization people would like fall into that, I think. Like, you know, crediting like localization people and crediting, you know, directors and like programmers and devs and QA staff and like all that, you know. Like people that kind of had a more like direct hand in its creation, right? Am I crazy? Am I nuts? Like what do like actual devs like think? Because that's who I'm kind of most interested in hearing from, I guess. Like people that actually like work in games. Not saying that like people that don't work in games like don't have any like insights, but like I don't know, I always find value in sort of listening to people that are actually like in the industry that you are trying to talk about, right? Because they're like in it, right? They're like in it. They have experience, you know. Yeah, no, these credits are taking a while. Like, holy cow! I did not realize these credits would take so long. But mainly, this is like this is sort of a side project of like a larger game, right? By like it's like Tango and Bethesda. Yeah, you had Tango developing and Bethesda publishing. So yeah, that parses. So like, of course, you gotta include all the ZeniMax stuff in there. Whoa, ZeniMax special thanks. Whoa, special thanks. I'm kind of curious to see how the game plays, though. Like, how, like, the main game plays. Just because, like, I find that kind of interesting. Because if we're going to be fighting, like, spirits all day, that'd be pretty neat. Like, we're just, like, fighting, like, a bunch of spirits, and, you know, we gotta do, like, crazy stuff. I mean, that's cool. Like, we have, like, the different powers, right? We good? Okay, there we go. Well, okay, I think that's gonna be it from me. But thank you for watching. I really appreciate you. I think without further ado, I'm gonna roll it over to the aftermath. So, you know, what did we learn today? We learned that dogs can also be your best friend. You know, in fact, they say that dog is man's best friend. We also learned that going into crazy haunted spaces without your backup can be kind of stupid. Kind of not the brightest thing to do. We also learned that it is very rude to stick your arm through someone else's chest. You know, not really something you do without consent, right? Anyway, thank you for coming out to the channel. I really appreciate you. If you enjoyed playthroughs like this, you can check me out over on twitch.tv/UncleBandit. I stream 5 days a week. If you want to check out any more playthroughs that sort of come this way, you can subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell. If you want to help support me, you can go over to the Twitch channel to sub and donate. Those things really help me out. And if you want to keep up with any updates, you know, like playthrough announcements, or just want to see what I'm up to, you can check me out on Blue Sky at Uncle Bandit. This has been it from me, and this has been Ghostwire Tokyo Prelude, the Corrupted Casefile. And I hope to see you all next time.